We are live. Welcome to the MarkZDrumcast. Let's go back in time.
You were young and bold, and baby, didn't that change with the wink of your eye? Now no one's talking about those crazy days gone by. No one talks about the times you cried. A little dreamer, succeed. I had to tell them, baby, you were armed with all you need. Seems no one's talking about those crazy days gone past. Weren't they amazed when you were fearless? You were the little dreamer.
Van Halen, throwback. For me, I was a big Van Halen fan growing up. Huge fan of Alex Van Halen because he was the first guy that I ever saw that did the craziest stuff with his drum kit. And it seemed like he did it from the very beginning. When he had really, where he didn't really have the means to do it, he was doing crazy stuff with his drum set. So that, of course, influenced me. And there was a time where I had a white bass drum for my very first drum set, or one of my first drum sets, and then I had a black bass drum for my new drum set. And what I ended up doing was striping the white bass drum with black stripes and striping the black bass drum with white stripes so that they matched. Now I had two bass drums with black and white stripes, and that comes directly from Alex Van Halen, because I believe he had a drum set with black and white stripes. So thank you, Alex. Always a fan, big influence growing up. I also remember a time where I got a hold of some stickers. I don't know how I did it. Back in the day, things weren't so easy back in the day where you could just go on some website and order anything you want basically and have it delivered to your house pretty much that day or the next day. No, I found some stickers with numbers on them and I stuck them all over my drums because, of course, Alex Van Halen had numbers, all of his drums numbered in one picture that I saw or one video that I saw or something. So, yeah, that's what I did too. But great song, great band. You know, listen, David Lee Roth, I think, is one of, is a little bit underrated in his day, in his time, in his day. He was a great blues vocalist that made it work with some hard rock stuff in Van Halen. So, welcome to the show, everybody. I wanted to tell you, oh, you know what? I don't even have my mic set up. Yes, it's only been, I don't know how many years I've been doing this Drumcast. But anyway, it's a gloomy, rainy, mild day here on the East Coast of New York. I mean, the East Coast of the United States in New York. And otherwise, it's a great day. We had some band rehearsal last night. We're starting to move in the right direction. We're incorporating some procedures where we can be more productive as a band. And of course, we're also trying to instill upon the students the importance of their individual efforts for the good of the band moving forward. There has been some issues that we are working out now. Everybody in the band is great. I think the issues are more along the lines of procedural stuff, and we are working on making the whole experience better for everybody involved. And that's super exciting because I think the attitude is changing. I think that that people are really starting to buy in to this whole situation. And yeah, it's going to be really, really cool. But if you check out the Drinking with Friends podcast, the newest episode, we talk about the People's Choice Awards. We're talking about music and musicians. We eventually will get to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees and what we think about them in the next show that's going to be probably going up this weekend. And so that kind of got me nostalgic and made me think a little bit about the bands that I grew up listening to. Van Halen, huge part of my early musical development. If anybody has any of their musical influences and the bands that helped them to help to shape who they are today, feel free to leave it in the chat because I would love to hear everybody's influences. For me, definitely Van Halen, Judas Priest, Kiss, a lot of bands from that era. Early 70s is probably, like mid 70s is when I really started to get into music. But in the mid 70s, I think I was still into like popular music because really where I got my music from, it was before I was buying my own records. Where I got my music from was the radio. So there is certainly a lot of influence that came from the radio, but it was mostly popular music. at the time, before I started to, like I said, make my own path in music, where I was buying my own records and doing things like that. It could have been the Midnight Special where I saw Kiss for the first time, and that's probably one of the things that hooked me and caused me to go searching this band out and seeing what it was all about. Obviously from the visuals, and then I grew to love the music. I don't know if I grew to love the music. I thought it was good rock and roll music. I liked all of their songs as a youngster, and I think that maybe Kiss might be the equivalent of an Imagine Dragons today, where a lot of my young students, they come in and the first music that they really are exposed to, besides maybe Kids Bop, is Imagine Dragons, which is pretty funny. But I mean, it's a good gateway to music. I've always said this. Imagine Dragons is a really good gateway for kids to learn how to appreciate music. It's not overly complicated. It's very catchy. It's pretty easy to follow, and so it appeals to children, and they can start to form a bond with musicians and a band and music that they like. Whether, like I said, it's Kids Bop, or if it's Imagine Dragons. I mean, I could think of worse things that I would have my kids listen to than Imagine Dragons. It's not my cup of tea, but it is better and, dare I say, a little more wholesome than a lot of the stuff out there. You listen to some of this music that is popular today, with the lyrics and the themes that they are singing about, and they're not even trying to be discreet. They're not even trying to be artistic about the themes are one thing, but the language that is so literal and just lazy is really crazy to me. So I would much rather my kids be listening to Imagine Dragons than some of these artists out there, and I won't name names because I'll probably get them wrong. But think about the music that becomes popular on TikTok. And some of the lyrics that you hear on Instagram and TikTok when people make these videos and stuff like that. But I'm more about the baby goat videos, or the elephants, or the dog videos, of course. Not so much the cat videos, but I am getting better with the cat videos. But anyway, today I want to talk a little bit about, because I have this new feature. I don't know how much I like it right now, but here we go. All right, I showed you a little bit of that. The hands cam, the snare cam, where we can talk a little bit about grip, and we can kind of display a little bit of what's going on. First thing I want to do is I want to encourage everybody to always warm up before you sit down, or when you sit down to play your drums, or if you have a practice pad, or if you have pillows or whatever. I encourage you to warm up. It really makes a big difference. It will loosen up our muscles, it'll get our blood flowing, and will allow us to play smoother, faster, right off the bat. There's something about doing anything from being cold, from the muscles being cold, that is not conducive for success or even feeling good about it. When I play shows, I always try to make sure that I'm warmed up and stretched out, and I got blood flowing, and I have some muscles warmed up, so that I feel better about what I'm doing, and I feel smoother, and I don't feel stiff, and I don't feel tense. So some of the best ways to warm up are going to be single stroke rolls, double stroke rolls, and what I like to do, you see the overhead camera, you can see a little bit better, is I like to exaggerate my movements when I'm warming up. I like to bring the sticks all the way up, pointing up to the ceiling, and bring them down a little bit slower than normal, so I could go through this full range of motion. I like to exaggerate everything because that's a little bit better for warm-ups. It's a little bit better for really concentrating on what you're doing as far as your grip and your strokes, and really being able to focus on what you're doing by taking it down a notch in as far as speed, and being paying close attention to what you're doing with your hands for all warm-ups, because it's also a great time to really evaluate what we're doing with our hands and allow us to notice any differences or any things that we want to modify or change or work on. For example, when I'm playing a single stroke roll, a few things I like to keep in mind. Number one is making sure that I'm hitting the same spot in the drum each time. I want to make sure that my sticks are coming up the same height as each other each time. I want to bring my sticks up and down in a straight line. And I want to make sure that these notes that I'm hitting sound even, right? Evenly spaced, and also sound even as far as volume, right? Not one very loud and one not so loud, right? So we want to make sure that we're playing, it sounds even, and it is even as far as the spacing of the notes. And especially when we're doing double strokes, I want that second note to be as loud as the first one. And again, slow, deliberate, exaggerated movements. Because when we're playing faster for speed around the drum kit, we're not going to be playing this speed, or we're not going to be playing this height. We'll be playing faster, but our sticks will be closer to the drums that we're hitting. Right, so single strokes and double strokes are very, very important because those are the building blocks of everything else we do in drumming. If you take a look at all the rudiments, the 40 rudiments that we work on, or should be working on, the 40 drum rudiments are a bunch of exercises for our hands of different rhythms and different stickings, lefts and rights, that are combinations of single strokes and double strokes. So when we get really good at our double strokes and our single strokes, and we start getting into our other rudiments, they're all going to be easier for us because we're already pretty good at our double strokes and already pretty good at our single strokes. For example, the whole stroke roll family, 5 through 17 stroke roll, long roll, buzz roll, triple stroke roll, all of those rolls are combinations of singles and doubles. Well, the triple stroke roll, not so much. Double stroke roll, not so much. But what I meant to say was my 5 through 17 double strokes and singles in different increments. Right, a 5-stroke roll is 2 doubles, right, left, right, and then 1 single stroke at the end. 7-stroke roll is 3 doubles, right, left, right, left, single stroke at the end, and so on and so forth, all the way to 17. There are 2 even number stroke rolls, a 6-stroke roll, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. 6-stroke roll. There's a single stroke at the beginning of a 5-stroke roll, and that will make it a 6-stroke roll. So you start off with a single stroke and then a 5-stroke roll. If you want to know the timing of it, look up the PAS International Standard Drum Rudiments 40, and it will give you the notes so you can see exactly what the timing is of these things. 10-stroke roll also is an even number roll, which consists of 4 doubles and 2 singles at the end. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Okay, 10-stroke roll. So this is just an example of singles and doubles being used as exercises mixed in different orders. Paradiddle, the same thing. Single paradiddle is right, left, 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 left. This is another one of the rudiments, the basic rudiments that you could start out learning. But you can see how we play 2 singles and then a double, and then with the opposite hand we start 2 singles and then a double. Okay, and that will get us what I like to do is teach the single stroke rolls, the double stroke rolls, and then the paradiddles, so that we can use the singles, the doubles, and then we can combine them to play paradiddles. The paradiddle family consists of 4 paradiddles: single paradiddle, double paradiddle, triple paradiddle, and paradiddle diddle. So I just wanted to go over this with you guys. Develop a strong warm-up routine when you're ready to start practicing. It's going to make your practice more fun. It's going to make you feel looser. You're going to feel more able to do stuff. You're going to feel a little bit faster. All of these things come about when you warm up first. You get the blood flowing, you get the muscles warm, and it just makes for a better practice session overall. Plus, we need to practice these single strokes, double strokes, single paradiddles. And then as you move through the 40 rudiments, you could start to see some of these patterns repeating and small changes. But, you know, for example, a flam paradiddle is just a paradiddle with a single tap before the first note of each flam. Little things like that where you're going to start to see how they all work together. But singles, doubles, paradiddles. Get on them. That's it. See you later.